From Strike Gold and Palacio Pueblo here for the title matches of today's JBT event. On the left, Eileen Linares has been on fire lately, taking on John Green for the scratch title. They're playing Nerve Wracker in match play today, so they're playing a 2-game match. If anybody sweeps 2-0, it's over. If not, they go to a 2-shot roll-off to determine things. Eileen won the first game handily over John, so she just needs to win this one to win it all without any further nerves being racked. And they both started out with doubles. To their right, the quiet one that Lion Matthews is playing, Kendall Balea, for the handicap crown. The difference is only 1 pin. Kendall's got to win by 1 to tie and 2 to win. They both spared in their first frames. Eileen with that picture-perfect form that's made her a main event champion. And 3 in a row to open up this match. That's picture-perfect form. This is modern form. The righty two-handed lefty spin. I don't know what's happening. Loft it halfway down the lane and knock them all over. Why not? It is amazing how normalized stuff that would just make you fall off your chair 20 years ago is. I mean, land would be kicked out of older bowling centers for lofting the ball that much on wood lanes. And now it's just like, okay, there's a bowler. No big deal. Speaking of the versatile John Luke, well, I think most of the time, a majority of the time, throws a two-handed with a righty spin. He is one of the best at switching to that backup ball release. He's our Tour Simonson, really. He's very good at it. He already had front 7 at it in an earlier game, and he ties this match up at front 3 each. Similar to Eileen, Kendall with that picture-perfect classic form. Strikes in her second frame. So the classic girls versus the unconventional boys here. John looking for the lead with the 4-bagger. Yeah, how good does that look? Outstanding start for an entertaining kid in John Luke. You never know quite what you're getting out of him personality-wise. I speak to him, and he nods, and I think there's comprehension, or I think he's trying to figure out the next thing to make me look silly. And I still haven't been able to tell after all these years. Pretty double for Balea. She's had to throw a huge game last game just to get by Emma Kitchens in the semis, and she did it. She needed 244 scratch to win, as it turned out, and she shot 245 scratch on a pretty high-scoring day today. First bad shot I've seen from Eileen in a while. Still almost carried the Brooklyn, but not that time. Land plays with emotion. If he gets a big string going, you will hear it. I almost guarantee you. Nice shot. Messenger won't quite get there for the half 7. As he takes a big deep breath over there. Eileen, a fantastic spare shooter. She'll go hard and straight with the ball that doesn't hook and hit that thing in the schnoz just like that. Giant thanks to this guy right here, Ed Romero and his whole team here at Strike Gold. Thank goodness he is here. He makes this place happen. He's been around this tour for a long time. And he gave us dogs and burgers and burritos and Dippin' Dots. It's the most I've eaten in a JBT weekend in years. I gotta stay awake for a 6-hour drive to Flagstaff. Thanks, Ed. Easier to do on an empty stomach. Linares won regular title, girls against boys, in addition to those main event titles. That was in Lubbock 2 seasons ago, I think. Something like that. Oh, thank you. Trips the 4-9 out of that one. Pressure on Mr. Green. Montana's sitting there not just to cheer on Eileen, but also because she has been waiting for the girls' scratch title match since Thursday morning. As Eileen made the cut and went right into match play, so he couldn't do the girls' match anytime sooner. Montana's just been waiting along. She'll do it sometime. Montana is going in for surgery, so this at least will get her last game before surgery on tape. Green on front 4 in the 5th, way left. And the shot was pretty forgiving today, but not quite that much. That was way outside. Perfect from Balea for 3 in a row. Really, when I talk about John, it's really envy more than anything, because my wrist does not do that. The human wrist, unless your last name rhymes with Tutrif, should not do that. Or Bymanson. It is amazing. Yeah, it is. Well, he misses it there, but it's even more amazing how you can completely shift from, you know, A to B, righty to lefty spin, and do it with confidence and accuracy. Now that chop there is painful as he falls behind in that match. U17 already decided that went to John with the win over Harper Schmidt, and made back-to-back top fours on the weekend. Stays with the lefty ball, but all of a sudden starting to look a little squirrely there. He misses left the last frame, and it dives through the schnoz this time. Big trouble for green. Tricky part of the lane right here, shooting it from the left side as well with hook. That all added up just right. Whoa! John tried to speed that one out of there. Instead, he loses another 2 pins account with 7 out instead of 7-2. That made a difference yesterday in the finals. We'll see what it does today. Eileen says, "Don't worry, I'll take that pin away from you." No problem. Land has a number of top 4 finishes, but this is his first top 2 finish. Would love to get that win, get into TOC. Oh, something fall. Spin spinning around, and neither one goes down. It's only the 5th frame, Land. Get your pin and hang it in there. As Eileen misses left. Ah, and she catches the biggest break of the day right there. That could have been anything. Instead, it's the old lookout reverse blown 5. Forehead needs to work on lane 3 tomorrow, and he's going to need some shims for 3 and 4 to flatten this lane out again after Land bulls on it. Good heavens. Well, that kind of gotten squirrely here, as both John and Eileen don't throw their best shots in the last couple frames. Let's see if Linares can put a real hurting on with 3 in a row here in the 7th. Oh, and again, another trip 4. Eileen getting the carry that John isn't right now, and it's, yeah, that's that. Yep, John is not at all happy with this turn of events. Decent shot from Land. All right. Land will roar if it goes well, but he's got to not get down on himself when it doesn't go well. It's easier said than done. John will stick with the left side. He prays for it, and Ganesh or whatever he's prayed to did not answer. Better shot at the 7 that time. I have no idea how that's physically possible, but he makes it, so good enough. PBA Junior just had it national finals. 10 boys made the finals. How many were 2-handers? 9. So, I mean, if anybody's still sitting at home typing away on the interweb saying, "This isn't bowling," well, yeah, it is. Sorry. Deal with it. Stay behind the line and knock the pins over. And if the kids are having fun, why stop them? Kendall's having fun right now, though. Striking the 6, she leads by 42 and only needs to win by 2, so in the driver's seat right now. There's the strike he was looking for. He's got room still for, what, 230, right? Yep. Eileen pacing 238, spare strike the rest of the way, so certainly not done. Don't let his goofy exterior fool you. John Green can string. So can Kendall Balea. Wow. Kendall was about 3 hours ago almost in Albuquerque. She was out of there. She went 166, 180 with handicap games 2 and 3 today. That was a good way to miss the cut today. Scores were pretty high, but she rebounded brilliantly with 230, 250 just to make the first round. And then after that, she's so experienced, 2-time defending handicap bowler of the year. She is unafraid of any match play situation. And looks to be close to finishing off. Land said he needed a miracle, and that would have been the start of one, but does not roll the 3. And the frustration starts to sink in. With the girls, the thing is they're not going to make the giant error. I mean, keep the ball more in play, more in the pocket. It's a lower risk, which can benefit more than the high risk, high reward that the guys are doing right now. Nicely done. Of course, more than one way for the ladies to do it too. Vanessa Fusey just won main event girls, 2-handed. There are a bunch of 2-handed girls up and coming on our tour. There's a couple in college that are scary good 2-handed too. It's more timing than it really is power. John's a little dude. Do-Hoon Kwan is like 60 pounds soaking wet up north, and he 2-hands it. Land just can't get the 7-pin out this match. Story of the game. Well, of course I'm happy for Kendall, but I'm about to be very disappointed, and I'll tell you why after Eileen's shot here. After a couple trip 4s in that lane, she dials it in on that one. Of course I'll be happy for whoever wins and disappointed for whoever loses, but there was a little side promise that was going on a little bit earlier here. And I am bitterly disappointed that a little certain something is apparently not going to happen. Yesterday's winning mom was a former Rams cheerleader, I'm not kidding. So I thought we were going to get gymnastics part 2 here. Apparently not to be. Maybe Land just didn't want his mom to be on camera doing backflips. No. Said, I'm going to throw this match. I guarantee you that's not what happened. Land is a competitive kid, and even second place out of the whole tournament feels like a second place is first loser whole thing. There's another truism I do not believe in, but that's all right. But, the ladies are rolling right now. John will check out every board on the lane with this spare attempt. Finish out with 2-0. Not a bad game, but needed a couple X's on the board today to win matches. We roll on to almost Canada next week. Everett, Washington, for a Northwest Conference, then down to Phoenix for a probably very big doubleheader down there. No problem at all for the spare at Kendall. This ball could be anything from John. Let's see. Oh yeah! A fallback jumper from 63 feet is good. Well done. Just like those U of A Wildcats. Didn't we watch that game last night? It was a high quality basketball game last night. 24-2 Wildcats. Yeah, Land just couldn't get the carry of this game. That is his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th 9 count. A couple more of them fall, would have been a different story. As he now, he says, I'm getting out of here. ASAP. Victory lap for Linares as well. There will be no nerve-wracker on camera. Oh. You know, once a day she leaves one of those 810s that doesn't look like an 810. That ball rolled fine. It's very odd. But a fantastic place for it. Can't think of a better place for it right there. One of the Harvey boys made an 810 on camera in this bowling center. Let's see another one. Don't ask me which Harvey boy. I have no clue. You can't tell. Nonetheless, that is a 220 JBT winning score. Why do we have a girls scratch division?
Why do we?
Every week it's Kendall, Eileen, and Madison, and Caitlin, for crying out loud, winning every week.
I get a chance. My last one, I get a chance.
That's right.
Okay, well then.
We should do 5, 6 so we get on a different pair. We'll get the letter set up, as you already knew that. Last shot, make it a strike. 5, 6, 9 counts for Matthews in this match. Yikes. Let's get him a 10 count. Of course, the fill ball carries. That's how it works in bowling. The fill ball always carries when you have a disappointing game otherwise. But listen, he was going to need a huge game to beat Kendall today. She was not having it when she got her look. Yeah. KJ Martinez is the handicap all-time title leader. That's what Derek meant by that. I think KJ had somewhere around 9, 10, 11 handicap titles. This will be 8 for Kendall with a variety of ways. Sure. She walked in around 9:30 yesterday morning. I said, "Hey Kendall, how you doing?" And she looked at me like I was from Mars. 6? And she didn't answer the question, and it's gotten better every minute since then for her. Top 4 yesterday and top 1 today. Sure. You just want to kick it down there one more time, see if they fall over too? Landis like, whatever. And enough of that. As he leaves the 6 9s and she can't help but strike over there. Well, this is probably going to carry, folks. What? Does not for 244 to follow up 245 the game before, and well-deserved title number 8. We'll catch a little bonus coverage of Eileen and Montana in the CD Baca farewell match coming up.